Orlando. We were out at Disney World. We had a bunch of families out there at the happiest place on earth. We had 4 families with a total of 13 kids under the age of 10, and we had this 8-bedroom house right outside the gates of Disney World. And I had to leave a day early to come back here to the conference. And as I was getting ready to go, my son, who's 10 and is the sort of elder statesman and chief negotiator for the group, asked where I was going. I said, I'm going to a performance marketing conference. And you know what the next question is from a 10-year-old, right? Which is, what's performance marketing? So I thought about that, and I told him, it's when you pay people when they bring you business. I figured that was a simple enough answer. It takes about a second to respond to that, which is, well, that's dumb. Why would you ever pay someone to not bring you business? I told him we weren't going to talk about Nike's relationship with Tiger Woods right now. But it did raise an interesting point, right? You look at what affiliate marketing is today, and it works pretty darn well for the advertisers. That's why we're here. I've been in that role. You love performance marketing as an advertiser, right? You get to just pay for the leads and the sales that you want. On the publisher side, it's a great business. It's a good life. We're all here because we love it. But it doesn't work perfectly for the publishers, right? I mean, for those of you in the room, you know that you're driving some amount of leads and sales for your advertisers every day that you're not getting the credit for. We'll talk about how that works and why, and take some of your questions around that. But really what I'm excited to be able to present to you today, and appreciate you all being here in the room, is there are new technologies that are emerging, specifically in the pay-per-call area, that are now enabling advertisers and publishers to align around getting publishers credit for those high-value calls and those high-value phone-based leads that you know you're driving for advertisers already and they want more of them. So we'll talk about what the problem is. We'll go through the solution, the different types of pay-per-call technologies that are evolving, the market opportunity that's out there for advertisers and for publishers, as well as for agencies and especially for the leading affiliate networks today. And then we'll take you through some success stories, talk about how people are using pay-per-call today in each of these different models. Some quick background on me and on our team at RingRevenue before we dive in so you have a sense of why I'm even up here. I'm the CEO of a company called RingRevenue. We've been around for about 2 years. We're based in Santa Barbara, California. As a team together, this is our second company that we're building. Most of us have been working together for nearly a decade in affiliate marketing and in the call space. And as a team, throughout our careers, we've built business models where we've scaled a subscription base over 15 million members. We've driven over 100 million in revenue, in part by leveraging the affiliate platforms very effectively. And we've built call platforms that have grown to over 1 billion calls a year. And that's a lot. So we really understand the performance marketing side, the affiliate side, and we really understand the telecom side. What we've done is bring this together for the performance marketing space, and RingRevenue is one of the emerging pay-per-call technologies that are out there. We're a technology provider. We're not a network. And so what that means is we provide our pay-per-call technology to some of the leading affiliate networks that they brand as their own and make that available to advertisers and publishers. I'm going to show you how that works today. So let's start with the problem. Every great business model ideally starts out by trying to solve a big problem. There is a big problem in affiliate marketing. And that is that, and we're all guilty of this, consumers shop online, especially for bigger ticket items, but ultimately purchase offline, typically by picking up the phone and calling that toll-free number that's on the advertiser's page. And click tracking, URLs don't do a very effective job of tracking that transaction when it leaves the website and the consumer calls that toll-free number and gets on the phone with the advertiser. Advertisers love those calls because they convert at a much higher rate. They convert at 10 to 20x what a click converts at, and also at a higher average ticket price because you've got a trained agent who gets that person on the phone, understands their issues, has a lot of experience in selling to that particular consumer and gets them to yes a lot more effectively than the website does. The challenge is It doesn't work well for the publisher who drove that lead to the page. You paid good money, you bought your search terms, you drove that traffic, you built a blog page that worked, you delivered that lead, and it left you and went off to the call center. So what's it lead to? What it leads to is exactly what you see here. We've all seen it before, right? When you are an advertiser and you go approach an affiliate network or an OPM, the first thing they coach you to do, if you want to drive affiliate traffic, is take that toll-free number off your page. So what ends up happening? The advertisers create separate landing pages for their affiliate traffic that doesn't have the number on there or hides it more effectively. And it's a real struggle between the publisher and the advertiser, often with the agency or the network sitting in the middle of that struggle. And it results in an experience that's less than perfect for the advertiser, because they're not getting all the sales that they would otherwise get. For the publisher, because a website with a phone number on it converts better. And for the consumer, because they want to talk to somebody at the end of the day. So let's talk about that consumer experience here for just a moment. More than 3/4 of online shoppers say they want more live assistance when shopping and making purchases online. More than half of them say they want live help available when they're considering making a big ticket purchase like insurance or travel or credit repair. And many of them, more than 1/3, even want live help available when they're making small ticket purchases like software and iPods. And nearly all of them say you cannot get live help from a merchant online when you're looking for it. What it results in is that abandoned shopping cart that sucks away all the money that you spent on your media. More than half of consumers who abandon an online purchase that they've started cite the lack of an ability to get a live agent on the phone to get their questions answered as the reason why they bailed out. They're still going to buy that product somewhere. They're just going through a different channel source to reach that merchant. They're smart. Consumers know how to find phone numbers. Think about what you do when you're about to buy a Dell laptop, right? $2,000 laptop. You just spent a half an hour going through their whole configuration engine. You put together your dream fire-breathing machine. You probably even dragged it into your shopping cart. You got a saved shopping cart. They emailed it to you. How many people click get it now on a $2,000 laptop purchase? Some of the people in this room do, but we are not the mainstream consumer that's out there today. The vast majority of people pull their phone out of their pocket, they find that phone number on the page, and they call it. Great for the advertiser, works for the consumer. The affiliate model got left out in the cold in that transaction. So what's the solution? The solution is to track calls like clicks. It's easy to do because it delivers the right consumer experience. It's also very challenging to take this complex technology and make it easy for the consumer, and make it easy for the publisher, and make it easy for the advertiser. And that's what the new emerging pay-per-call platforms are enabling. With pay-per-call, there are not cookie tracking issues. So you get a lot more reliable lead crediting. You get much better information, data about your consumers, about your leads. And because those calls convert so much better than clicks, the average commissions are much higher. And what's most exciting for advertisers and really for publishers is that now with trackable phone numbers, with pay-per-call, publishers can use offline media to promote advertiser campaigns as well as online. We'll talk a little bit more about that in just a moment here. So this is the affiliate channel today, right? We all live and breathe in it. There are advertisers who promote certain types of products and services online. Affiliates use all the various online media types to promote those campaigns, right? Search, blog, email, etc. The point of customer contact today is that website. That's where all the transactions occur. And that results in some sales for the advertiser and some commissions for the affiliates. And affiliate marketing works really well for certain types of products and services. It's a multi-billion-dollar business. We all make our living from it. And there are things that I buy that I don't want to talk to somebody. I don't need to. The replacement battery for that Dell laptop. I don't need to talk to somebody. I just want to find the best source and the best price. and online transactions support that very effectively. But once you start to get up above that sort of $200, $250 price point, those transactions start to move into the call center. People have questions with bigger purchases. They want to talk to somebody. So by adding pay-per-call into your affiliate programs, advertisers can now promote their higher end, their bigger ticket, their more complex products and services, which bring bigger commissions with them, through the affiliate channel. And affiliates are able to use all of these different offline media types as well, like mobile and print and remnant TV and remnant radio. And that point of customer contact is still the website. It is not calls instead of clicks. It's tracking and paying you for calls in addition to your online CPA when you drive a transaction. But when those consumers do choose to speak to an advertiser live, which many of them want to do, you make that option available to them. You let them decide how they want to interact with the advertiser. The advertiser is happy to pay. They know their call center conversion rates. They know what they want to pay for calls. They know what they want to pay for transactions. And now publishers are getting paid for all the leads that they drive, resulting in more sales and more commissions. So how big is this market opportunity? It's very, very big. And that's why I'm pleased to have the chance to share some of this information with you today, because affiliates really are at the forefront of online marketing. We're all here because we love it. We all make our living from it. I've been in the role of being that large advertiser for years, where I would sit down with our customer acquisition teams and want to get more and more out of the performance marketing channels, and it would cap out for us. And we were, for a couple of years, one of the larger advertisers on Commission Junction and Be Free, again driving 15 million plus registered members at our last company, in large part through leveraging the affiliate channels. So we know it, we love it, we want to get more out of it. There's about $300 billion a year being spent on advertising in the US. And the sandbox that we all play in, the online world of Microsoft and Yahoo and ValueClick and AOL and Google, it's only about 10% of what's being spent out there. About 30 to 35 billion a year, with the majority of that being Google, of course. The other $250 billion that's spent in the US every year on advertising is spent not to drive a click, but to drive a branding impression or a store visit or a phone call. Tens of billions of inbound phone calls made in the US every year from consumers to advertisers. So let's talk about how that works. Because the new platforms enable the affiliate networks now to take part in that transaction stream, to become relevant in that $250 billion a year spend, as a lot of that offline media transitions into performance-based in order to survive. And look what's happening with newspaper, look what's happening with radio. Look at, if you stop and pay attention to what's happening on television, the late night and cable wasteland channels used to be the only domain for what's called direct response advertising on TV, right, where you see a phone number, call now. Now, if you pay attention, you're seeing direct response advertising on TV, ads with phone numbers, commercials with phone numbers during primetime programming. That's just evolved over the last couple of years. It's because the channel is increasingly challenged to sell its media on an impression basis. So all of that's becoming available on the leading affiliate networks now. Take you through how it works. So an advertiser creates their pay-per-call campaigns just as they would an online campaign. They log into the pay-per-call platform at their affiliate network of choice, Commission Junction, LinkShare, ShareASale, etc. And they create a campaign with a very similar web-based point-and-click interface to how they create them today. Affiliates then can browse those pay-per-call campaigns right alongside their traditional online campaigns and apply for them and get approved, just as they do with online campaigns today. Once they're approved, publishers can take down as many unique toll-free numbers as they need to support each of their different media placements for that campaign, online or offline. Consumers then see those ads. In many cases, they click through those ads, and in some cases, they choose to call. When they call, that call is then routed through a pay-per-call platform, and if the call meets the advertiser's criteria, and everything's good, and it's all an authorized publisher and all that good stuff, the call is then instantly routed out to the advertiser's call center. So all of that takes place without adding any time to the call, or most importantly, without changing the caller's experience at all. The critical factor for getting technologies like these to scale is you don't ask your customer to do the work for the channel, right? It's not a click to call me back button. It's not a form to fill out. It's not a live chat window. It's not a code to type in. It's, hey, I've got a question, and I've got a phone in my pocket, and I want to call a phone number and talk to somebody. Consumers today are surrounded by media types. I mean, that doesn't even need to be said, right? And think about all the different things you need to check on a daily basis today. Show of hands, how many people have a cell phone? Okay. Anybody have more than one cell phone on them right now? Yeah. See, cell phone penetration is at 100% today. We're all walking around with a phone in our pockets. And it's becoming an increasingly easy platform for us to interact with advertisers on. You know, mobile publishing is beginning to lead the charge in offline publishing for affiliate. It's got its challenges. It's hard to buy something on your phone still, but that process is evolving. For us in the pay-per-call space, mobile marketing is not about the phone. It's about the phone number. All of the magic that takes place in making sure that this is a lead that the advertiser wants and that the publisher is getting credit for the quality of the leads that they drive and getting paid for the work that they do, all of that technology is built in behind the phone number. It's seamless to the consumer today. And it's this latest evolution of pay-per-call that is leading the affiliate networks and the performance marketing industry to take hold of pay-per-call now, despite the fact that call tracking technology has been around for a long time. So let's take a look at a few different publisher use case examples here and get a sense of how pay-per-call is already being used today. Does pay-per-call work for search? Yes. Whether you're doing paid search or organic search, including phone numbers in your search results creates an opportunity for publishers to drive revenue without even having to pay the search partner for the click. You're able to market to that consumer higher up in the funnel, upstream, so to speak, where a lot of times when someone's searching for a product or service, especially local, especially big ticket, all they're really looking for is a phone number. You're paying for the click so that they can sniff around and try and find a phone number. By putting the phone number right here in the search results, you're driving revenue with a lower sort of cost of goods, so to speak, as a publisher. Does pay-per-call work for display and online video? Yes. In fact, one of the interesting effects of phone numbers in display is that in certain product and service categories, having that phone number there on the landing page increases the click-through rates. We see an average of 12% increase in click-through rates when the only change you make is putting that phone number on the banner ad, which results on average in about a 5% lower cost per click. That doesn't even include the revenue that you generate from getting commissions on those calls. Does pay-per-call work for discounts and coupon sites? Yes, absolutely. When you're out there sniffing around looking for a discount code, what you really want to do as a publisher is get that person out of discount hunting mode and get them into purchase mode. And for those that want to speak to someone, they're a lot more purchase positive, the wallet's out, they have questions. By enabling them to get on the phone with an agent, seeing a toll-free number on the page instead of hiding it, takes them out of that sort of discount hunting mode. They call the phone number on the last coupon site that they landed on. They're engaged with the advertiser's call center agent, and again, getting converted at 30 to 50% on average, as opposed to the 1 to 3% online conversion rate. Does it work for social media? Yes. We're already seeing applications, use of phone numbers in social media. Does it work for email? Yes. It's one of the most natural places for pay-per-call because an increasing percentage of us are checking our email here. With one click, you're now able to make a phone call to speak to that merchant if it's the right type of an offer and that lead's being credited back to the publisher that sent that email. Does it work for review sites and blogs? Yes, absolutely. In fact, it's one of the best applications for pay-per-call. Think about what you do when you go hit a product review site, right? You've got an idea of what you want to buy, you're looking at reviews, you're comparing products, you're a lot more ready to purchase than a consumer that's further up in the funnel, still browsing or still poking through search results. It's the ideal time, again, for those higher end products and services with the bigger commissions to have a phone number out there in front of that consumer. And know that in addition to generating some of those higher call-based commissions, you're also driving up click-through rates. Does it work for storefronts? Yes. Think about storefront merchants, storefront publishers today who are pulling in these product data feeds. You're trying to do your very best to create an experience for that consumer that's just like landing on the merchant's storefront page. The difference today is that that merchant gets to have that phone number on there, and they have it there because they know it drives conversions. Now, storefront publishers can also have their unique toll-free numbers on there, so that they're getting paid not just for the online traffic, but for those calls as well. Does it work for lead gen? Yes, it works very well in lead gen. Great for product comparison. Think about the experience, the consumer experience of a lead form. The model works reasonably well in terms of driving sales and driving revenue, but the lead form itself is really something that was created over the last few years as, frankly, a poor substitute for getting that consumer on the phone. So what happens today with pay-per-call technology is a number of platforms that are out there can now essentially replicate that data capture that's being done on a lead form and capture a lot of that information from the caller, both using technology, databases in real time, and also asking questions of the consumer before deciding how to route that call to the advertiser. The big challenge with lead forms is when you as a publisher, you get a perfectly filled out lead form, all 22 fields, knock them dead, you nailed it, and you pass that to the advertiser. The advertiser then takes that form, it routes through their system, and then gets assigned to a call center agent to follow up. Sometimes that process takes seconds, sometimes it takes minutes, sometimes it takes hours for the consumer to be called back. That recontact rate, when the advertiser, the agent says, okay, I'm calling this lead now, I'm picking up the phone and calling them, they don't get those people on the phone 100% of the time anymore, right? They've moved on, they found another merchant, they put their phone number in wrong, whatever it was. That recontact rate is down around the 50 to 60% range for forms-based lead gen. When you as a publisher are able to hand off a live caller, they started to fill out your lead form, higher completion rate because you got the phone number on there, that's great. Some of them call that number. When they do, you can deliver that call that meets the advertiser's criteria directly to the advertiser in real time, and that recontact rate essentially goes up to 100%. Does it work for mobile and text? Absolutely. Again, these are applications that people are working with on a phone. Yes, the phone is rapidly becoming a computer in your pocket, but its primary use is still that of a phone, and that's the way that consumers think about it. So when I see an ad on my phone, a text message, for example, that has a phone number in it, it's one click for me to dial that number. Does it work for TV? Yes. We talked a little bit earlier about how direct response is moving into mainstream primetime programming. All of the major offline media channels, television, radio, print, outdoor, all are facing this challenge of needing to move from pay for impression, the old CPM model, right? Magazine publishing is where the term CPM comes from, cost per thousand, into performance-based tracking. And so an arbitrage opportunity is going to exist here for the next couple of years for publishers to come into these offline media, TV, radio, etc., and come in and purchase that inventory on a rev share basis and run ads And pay-per-call platforms today support the broad range of creative types. It's not just banner ads and text links. The platforms today, you can literally drop down and select TV commercial, 30-second spot, and there's the advertiser's creative that they've approved for you to use as a publisher. The platforms dynamically insert your particular promo number into it, and it's pushed out to the media outlets. Same for newspaper. I mean, they're rapidly going the way of thumb screws if they don't successfully navigate the transition to performance-based marketing, right? You use the internet to get your information today. It's obviously a substantial challenge for print newspapers. How often today do you open up the paper and then you're looking at the ads in there and there's a whole bunch of your ad could be here or public service announcements? That's unsold inventory or remnant inventory that classified ad manager couldn't sell by deadline. Tomorrow, they're going to be logging on as super affiliates to the pay-per-call platforms of the leading affiliate networks and saying, here's a bunch of offers I'm going to run on a performance basis. And the platform gives them the creative they need to go slot that directly into their newsprint. Does it work for radio? Yes. Radio revenue is declining rapidly. Satellite has something to do with that, but it is yet another dying business model. The pay-per-call enables publishers to find those radio stations on the platforms and say, hey, I want to run this ad on your station. It's all point and click for publishers today. The other interesting thing about, and I don't know who here has a radio background, so I won't spend too much time on it, but the exciting thing about using unique trackable phone numbers is radio personalities themselves can now greatly expand their referral models, right? Hey, we got a great offer from such and such. Call 800 now and get my special deal. Does it work for direct mail? Absolutely. It's one of the very best uses of pay-per-call, and pay-per-call has been used in direct mail for decades. It really enables you alongside your online campaigns to very precisely target segments of your user base. If you're a loyalty publisher, for example, using direct mail in conjunction with your online campaigns lets you very precisely target those individual user groups because you have all the data on them and make sure that your members are getting credited for all the leads that they drive. Does it work for outdoor? Yes, I mean, this is really the epitome of kind of grassroots affiliate marketing. It's where we all live and breathe. It's what gets me fired up about this industry is look at what it takes today to be an offline publisher in outdoor. Your cost of goods is a ream of paper. I mean, you print up a bunch of flyers that have phone numbers on them, and you're getting paid for every call that gets driven by that. Best deals on last-minute airfare, guaranteed. Call 1-800. Somebody's walking by, says, hey, I got to book a flight to Denver tomorrow. I'll try that number. That call just got routed through to Orbitz or Expedia or whoever it is through an affiliate network, and you just made 20 bucks. So I want to save some time for questions here, but just kind of to bring it home, very excited to have the opportunity to share with you folks how pay-per-call is emerging in the affiliate space. I know the meat market's out there and there's a good football game starting here shortly. So I want to give you a chance to get your questions answered. It's very easy to get started. You go today to your favorite affiliate network / pay-per-call, and you can find the programs there where you can sign up as an advertiser or a publisher and browse the campaigns that are already available. We have thousands of new pay-per-call publishers signing up every month. So the platform is growing rapidly across many of the leading networks, and you've got a great opportunity here to get involved and learn a little bit more. If you'd like, you can call this number here. I can make the presentation available to anybody that would like it, and I would love to open it up to questions you guys may have.
Can you repeat
Yes.
the address?
What's that?
Can you repeat the web address and the phone number?
Sure. If you call this number here, and this is a unique trackable number, so we'll know how many calls came specifically from the presentation as opposed to other media placements. You can learn a little bit more about it. We're also, we have a team here from RingRevenue that is working with the affiliate networks that you work with. We'll be scheduling some quick demonstrations here over the next couple of days. And we've got a promotion that we're running here that I'll tell you about in just a moment after we get through some questions. Yes?
How do you handle sub-affiliates? Like if an affiliate signs up and they've got 50 sub-affiliates, does each sub-affiliate use the number of the main affiliate, or sub-affiliates have to pull their own numbers? How do you integrate sub-affiliate tracking?
Sub-affiliates get their own numbers. So without getting into the technical details here, I think the important takeaway from that question is the way that pay-per-call works best is if there is a unique phone number, a normal 10-digit toll-free number, no codes or extensions, for every combination of advertiser, campaign from that advertiser, affiliate or sub-affiliate, and individual media placement by that affiliate. So if you're an affiliate and you are promoting I'll make something up here, a Dell campaign on one of your favorite affiliate networks, and you're going to take down several phone numbers because you're running a blog site that's about picking a great laptop, you want one number for that. You've got an email list you're sending out to, you want another number for that, maybe multiple numbers depending on how you segment that base. You're doing some search campaigns, you want unique numbers for those, and you might be running an ad in the local college newspaper, back to school laptop sale, and you want a separate number for that. Yeah.
What verticals do you think work best?
It's a great question. There are many product and service categories that already perform very, very well with traditional online marketing, right? You don't need to talk to somebody if you're buying a t-shirt or a laptop battery. Some of the categories that do perform best are the ones where you've got a price point that's over about $200 on average. Anything where there is a subscription model, where there's a recurring billing model with the consumer, those sell much, much better when an agent gets them on the phone. In terms of specific verticals, financial services obviously are very big, insurance, education, credit repair, and really any product category where there's a potential for a lot of upsells. I'll give you a quick example. Oric Vacuum, base unit sells for about $400 plus or minus. When someone purchases online, they typically buy $100 worth of accessories to go with it. When someone picks up the phone during that purchase process and calls the call center, they order an average of $400 worth of accessories. So for an extra $300 in high margin revenue, how much is Oric willing to pay you to drive that call in addition to your online CPA? Fair amount. Pay-per-call commissions average over $10, and that's not per sale, that's per call that you drive. Yes?
What kind of safeguards do you have to fight against call fraud, customer fraud?
It's a great question. Fraud is near and dear to our hearts. We were a large advertiser for years and also a very large publisher on the leading affiliate platforms. So like each of you, we've dealt with appreciable levels of fraud in our careers. What we have built into the platform, again, we can go offline and go into a little bit more detail, but I'll give you a high level. What we've essentially done with the way the platform works, at least in the case of RingRevenue, there are many different pay-per-call applications out there, is the process essentially takes away the incentive for the publisher to commit fraud. It's very difficult to drive a fraudulent call that's going to meet the advertiser's criteria, and then the advertiser still, like with online, has the ability within the platforms to dispute any transaction that they think is fraudulent. So I don't want to go too deep on it today. Happy to have a conversation with you afterward, but it's important that you understand that fraud prevention and fraud control is really at the core of many of the emerging pay-per-call platforms. It's much harder than online fraud, than click fraud. Yes?
Consumer goes to your landing page, you have a form to fill out, and you have a phone number. What if they fill the form out and call as well?
Okay. So in case people didn't hear the question was, hey, what if somebody fills out the form, submits it, and also calls? How do advertisers manage compensating affiliates when there's sort of a double sign-up event? So the short answer is that the advertisers know exactly what they're willing to pay for a completed lead form, and they know what they're willing to pay for a call. So essentially the answer to that is that it's built into the way that they price out their campaigns. And many of the leading platforms give you tool sets and calculators, which I'd love to stand up here and give you a demo of how the platform works, and that's exactly what we'll be offering up here over the next couple of days. But it's built into their pricing. They know that a certain percentage of people are going to complete the form and then also call. So the short answer is it's built into their pricing. Yes?
What's the typical lifeline with the 800 numbers that you get out of the pool? Basically, it's not forever. And you're getting it best for a particular company.
So the phone numbers that you get as a publisher, they're free for publishers to take down and use as many as you need to support your campaigns. The phone numbers, when you get them, are assigned to a specific campaign for the advertiser. You as the affiliate get to use that number for the media placement you choose to promote this campaign. So as long as the campaign is live and you're a publisher in good standing on their pay-per-call program, your number would stay live forever. The business model in pay-per-call, and one of the reasons why it's taking off now and hasn't before, is it's really complicated to provide essentially a limitless base of phone numbers for publishers to take down freely and use. And that's the hard part, and it's some of the learning that comes from driving over 1 billion calls a year and seeing how it all works, is it takes a combination of a large pool of numbers and a lot of intelligence around how and when those numbers sort of get scrubbed and re-enter the number pool. But the short answer for you is you keep it for as long as you need it.
Well, along the same line, we're talking about using the same number in the blogs. Blogs have years life. You've got dead links and you've got dead phone numbers.
Right.
And a phone number for an auto store could be leading to some other thing in 1 year.
So you'd have a separate phone number for each one of those blogs, and we can actually take it offline. I want to make sure we get to everyone's questions, but you're essentially asking what happens to that call if the offer is no longer available but the blog is still live with a phone number on it. The short answer is that call belongs to the advertiser. They may still want the call even if that particular offer is not running, but there's a lot of flexibilities in these platforms to decide how that call gets treated.
What kind of statistical data is provided?
So there are different views, and again, I don't want to talk just about the RingRevenue platform because there are a lot of different ways to address pay-per-call today. But what you want to have is within your platform, you really want sort of 3 different views of the world. You want a affiliate network level view, kind of top down as they have today, where they see all the activity on the platform. You have an advertiser view, where this is the entity that's buying that lead, right? They paid for it. They're going to get all the personally identifiable information, the caller ID. You can take that caller ID and dip it into a series of databases in a fraction of a second to give you caller name, street address, all that good stuff. It really depends on what the advertisers want to pay for and how they're going to use that data. And then there's the publisher view, where what you need to see as a publisher is enough information to know that these are the calls you drove. This is how long they lasted. This is where they came from. This is the media type that drove them. This is the quality that they represent to the advertiser. What you don't want to get as a publisher, and what the advertiser doesn't want you to have, is that personally identifiable contact information. So you don't get, for example, the full caller ID. In some platforms, part of the caller ID will be voided out so that you'll see enough to know that your records match up to the advertiser's records and the network's records, but the publisher doesn't have the information to go and contact that lead. Does that answer your question? Okay. Yes?
What is the best way to embed a phone number into online video when each affiliate posting the video would require a different phone number?
Yes, so the question is basically how do you integrate unique phone numbers into video and other more complex types of creative that are harder than just a banner to create a zillion of with a unique phone number in there. The short answer is that many of the emerging pay-per-call platforms handle that dynamic integration of a phone number into the video by appending it into the frame, essentially. And so the platforms support a broad range of media types, not just video, but television commercials, audio content for radio, print layouts, etc. And that, again, is part of what is enabling pay-per-call to scale now, where it hasn't for the past 10 years, is it's not enough just to give people phone numbers, right? It's not enough just to say, here's a number, go put it in your media, and I'll give you a report of all the calls that happen. Advertisers and publishers need a lot more support than that. You need an interface that makes it very easy for you just to point and click, because once you really start to think about it, questions like this come up. How do I get a number into video? Well, you click the drop-down menu, you select video, you click this other drop-down, you select which of your promo numbers you want integrated into that advertiser-approved video clip. They're integrated on the platform and pushed back out to you, enabling you to go run them. Yeah?
How portable are the numbers? You're porting the number? I mean, I've been using dedicated lines for 10 years, but we port numbers from one spot to another, and the campaigns are going to have a line. Even after the campaign stops, that phone number has a line for 3 months, 4 months.
Right.
Are you going to be
So we leave those numbers live. I mean, in case there are different business models out there. If you're asking what we do at RingRevenue, we leave those numbers live for you for as long as you need them. And the reason for that is the cost of keeping a number live for a month, it's nominal compared to the value of one more call coming in during that 4-month period.
How do you, what is the difference in terms of the client and user advertisers managing and moving their own numbers through another source who's calling, Marchecks, 800 response? I mean, there are literally 50 players out there that are selling dedicated lines flat out and can manage your portals out.
Yep.
What is the difference?
So there are a number of call tracking companies out there. Call tracking's been around for a long time. You just mentioned a few of them. The call tracking piece in the middle, the provision of phone number and give you reporting on what happened with that phone number, the tracking and the provisioning and the real-time reporting, that's critical. And I'd put ours up against anybody's. But that's not really the so what. The pieces that are missing from that, the reason why most of the people in this room have never heard of Who's Calling or Call 8 or some of the other companies you mentioned is because you hand most affiliates a phone number and they don't know what the heck to do with it. Right? Well, okay, I get I can put this in a text link, but then what's going to happen? Where do those calls go? What if I want to use it somewhere else? All the questions that are being asked here. So what you need to do is take that call tracking technology and number provisioning and wrap it with a very intuitive, easy to use, web-based interface to achieve all of the things that we've been talking about here today. I mean, ease of use equals use, right? And use equals revenue. So if you make it easy for people to use, they will. You hear the questions that are coming up today. This is really the first time that a number of folks in this room have really ever contemplated getting paid for driving calls to advertisers. And the questions that come up are all about usability. How do I do this? How do I do that? The companies you mentioned probably have great call tracking technology, but there are a few platforms out there, one that I know of, and I doubt will be the only one forever, that was purpose-built for performance marketing. All the things, the questions that are being asked today, how do I do this? How do I do that? How do I integrate a phone number into advertiser-approved video creative? What if I have 50 sub-affiliates? What if I run 300 different search campaigns? How do I do this on my blog? What's the reporting look like? You know, can I get a recording of the call? All these other questions that come up, you need a very intuitive interface that makes it easy for advertisers to set up those campaigns, get their questions answered, price them out, and makes it very easy for publishers to find them, figure out which ones are a fit with their base, promote those campaigns, track them, get paid for them. That kind of very intuitive interface is what you find now on the pay-per-call platforms at some of the leading affiliate networks. We're partnered with a number of companies that you guys are familiar with, Commission Junction, LinkShare, ShareASale, and many others, where you can go today and find that very intuitive interface where you can go learn about pay-per-call campaigns through your favorite network. Yes?
Can the affiliate see the best value of the sale or the revenue percentage you earn from the sale?
If the advertiser wants to. There are really two different pricing models here. One is where the advertiser does not want to share transaction data, call center conversion and transaction data, and says, hey, we run a 24/7 call center. I know my conversion rates. You're going to send me a call. I know what that call is worth to me. I'm going to pay you this amount per call, and we'll both see the tracking on that. The other model is where the advertiser says, hey, I'm paying you a CPA, whether you give me an online sale or a phone-based sale. I want to pay you $25 per sale, regardless of which channel it comes in through.
So it's basically, approve the sale is basically recommended. Is there a way to actually approve the sale automatically without leaving it to the merchant?
I mean, for a pay-per-call tracking platform to know that a sale occurred without the advertiser needing to provide that data manually, yes. And that's an offline discussion to have. So happy to go there with you afterward if you have some specific questions there.
If you're working with a price comparison website and let's say you have 3,000 products, and I want to know as a affiliate which product do I sell most, and I'm advertising let's say on all 3,000 products. Do I get 3,000 phone numbers for it? Or
It's not likely that all 3,000 products are optimal for pay-per-call, right? A $19 t-shirt, you're probably not going to want to put a phone number on, but the short answer is yes, you get a phone number for every product you think might sell better with a phone number on it, and you do some A/B testing and see what works. Yes?
Are there varying degrees of compensation on this? You've had some experience with warm transfer, which is pretty high payouts.
Right.
Are these typically more cold call inbound?
It really depends entirely on how the call was generated by the affiliate, right? I mean, you've got affiliates out there that, let's say that you're doing loan modification is your category. And you've got an affiliate out there and he's running a blog about how to fix your credit. And that's generating high quality inbound calls for you. He's got a phone number on there. And then, sorry to pick on you, he's also running a banner somewhere else that says free iPod, call this number. You don't like those very much, right? So the platform is able to differentiate some of the characteristics between those two calls. But the bottom line is you as the advertiser can say, look, I like him and I like the calls that are being generated through this number. I want to bonus this up a bit, and there's a tool set to do that. But I don't like the calls coming in from this other one. I want to turn this down or shut it off altogether. So you can manage not just at the individual publisher level, but really at the individual media placement level, because you can control the phone numbers individually. Yeah?
Short question.
These guys who are leaving are bummed because they don't know what the prize is at the end here.
A lot of affiliate, like pixel tracking, they want real time to know that the conversion occurred. How would, with a call center type scenario through a pay per call model, how do you invoke pixel back to the affiliate?
So come see me after for a deeper answer, but the short answer is anything that the call centers support today in terms of indicating that a transaction occurs, the pay-per-call platforms can pick up. And it really depends on how the advertiser wants to manage the program. If you look at the way that, one of the reasons I'm so fired up about this industry is we've been in performance marketing now for, for me, a decade plus. I've been in communication software for 20 plus years, I hate to say. Think back 10 years ago how we were all trading online inventory, right? It was on a CPM basis. We all went to Yahoo. And I remember these days of ridiculous six-figure IOs. You're like, I just traded the cow for magic beans here. I have no idea what I'm getting. And we'd buy inventory from Yahoo and others on a CPM basis. And you'd pay your buck or your $2 or your 40 cents. And they'd lie to you and tell you it's going to be geo-targeted and day-parted and frequency capped and it's only going to run on these channels. And all of that was garbage because at the end of the day, you'd look at your conversions and you'd look at what you spent and you'd go negotiate with that 21-year-old media buyer who's different than the one you talked to last month. And that evolved to pay-per-click, right? Companies emerged that said, if you just let us put a pixel on your landing page, we'll move down that funnel. We'll start selling you clicks instead of impressions. And everybody loved it. And then click fraud ensued like 30 seconds later. And so that evolved over time to companies emerged that said, if you just let us pixel every single page in your funnel, we're willing to get paid on conversions, on sales. And so all the advertisers said, bring it. That's exactly what I want. Pay-per-call is going to evolve the exact same way. Right now, advertisers say, I like it. I'm still learning how to work with this massive army of third-party publishers who are going to drive now high-value calls, which are more expensive for me to take in my call center, so they got to be reasonable quality. Right now, just drop them on my front door, right? Pretty soon it's going to evolve to, if you just let us integrate a little bit with your call center software, we're going to be able to do some of the things that you're talking about. Be able to do not just that real-time transaction tracking, but think about, fast forward a couple of years here, where as a publisher, you're throwing calls into a queue where for Expedia or Dell or Orbitz or one of these big 24/7 call centers, those calls can be dynamically reprioritized in the queue based on the likelihood that they're going to convert into a sale. And maybe one day even get routed to the agent who's got the best closing record for closing the type of customer that you're driving into their call queue. So we see it evolving much the same way that online evolved from CPM to CPC to CPA, and we're really just at the beginning of it today. Yes?
Let's say you had that Dell phone call you were talking about, somebody wanted to buy a laptop. Okay, that's great. What if somebody just sees the phone number and then calls and just has some technical question? How does that track that?
So one of the biggest challenges if you talk to an advertiser that's taking calls, and Commission Junction is actually a good example. I know we've got a few CJ folks in the room here. If you look at the 4-bar and 5-bar advertisers on CJ, more than 2/3 of them are actively purchasing phone calls through other channels. If you go to their main landing page, there is a toll-free phone number prominently featured on their sites. So advertisers want calls. They know that when a call comes in, there's X% chance it's a new customer. There's 1 minus X, it's an existing customer calling in with a question, right? I saw a banner ad that he ran, and it reminded me, I got to call Dell to get my laptop repaired, right? So I called the number that he's hoping to drive sales with. That's going to happen on occasion. What the pay-per-call platforms enable advertisers to do is sort those calls out before they ever ring in the sales call center. So the call you're talking about, Dell might want that one actually to go to Bangalore, to the support center, and not freeze out a sales agent. Freeze them out of the queue because answer the call, yes, I'll transfer you to tech support. And then they're frozen out for 10 minutes. So what the emerging pay-per-call platforms enable the advertiser to do there is route that call effectively based on some characteristics of the call that the platform detects. Let's talk about pricing. So Dell puts an offer out there that says, we're going to pay you $5 per call. Right now we're paying you 10% commission for online transactions. In addition to that, we're going to pay you $5 per call that you drive, publisher. And if that call lasts more than 5 minutes, we're going to bonus you by another $5. And if that call comes in from the domestic US, we're going to bonus it by another couple bucks. And if they press 1 to indicate that they're calling to place a new order, we're going to bonus it by another $10. And we're also going to treat that call differently. It's going to get routed off directly to sales. So I don't want to get too technical. I'm happy to have the discussion a little bit further here after we break. But the platforms that are out there today enable advertisers to segment out those calls and pay publishers based on the value of those calls that they're driving. I think we have time for maybe 1 or 2 more. So, yeah. Thank you. That's at the advertiser's discretion. The platforms do enable call recording. And if the advertiser or whoever is managing campaigns on their behalf, the agency or whoever it is, wants those calls recorded, they simply check the box that says record calls. And then all callers hear your standard, this call may be recorded for quality purposes. Call recording is interesting because for a number of large advertisers, they actually work with third-party call centers. And so when you ask the call center in Miami or Manila, can I get a sample of calls? So things are starting to slide, I want to see some calls. You may get a random sample, you may get a hand-picked sample that doesn't include the agent saying, please just buy this, you can return it tomorrow, my kid needs shoes. And so enabling call recording at the advertiser's discretion is a fantastic tool. It is not available to publishers, obviously. At least on our platform it's not, and it shouldn't be. That's information that's owned by the advertiser. Way in the back there, yeah.
Okay, I guess the success rate for this pay-per-call depends a lot on your call center. So how exactly will you determine the quality of the call center if the calls are not available?
So yes, whether or not a call closes depends on the quality of the call center, the quality of the call center agent. That today is within the domain of the advertiser. I don't know that it's the place today, it may be in the future, for the affiliate networks to step up and inform the advertisers about how to optimize their call center experience. Is the information about what's working and what's not working in the call center, does that become available from these pay-per-call platforms? Yes, absolutely. And so with the information there, it's only a matter of time before it gets acted on. But today, I'm not aware of, we're a technology company, right? So we're providing software. I'm not aware of a model that reaches in and manages the behavior of Dell's or Expedia's call center agent. Yeah, it's the exact same as today. You're at the whim of how well they constructed their website, right? You drive a lead to them and it only converts as well as they did a job of building that site. The call center situation is exactly the same. Yeah, over here on the end. Yeah.
Is there a whisper feature that you can kind of a warm lead or hand off to the agent that picks up? There's something about the person calling about it.
Yeah, so there are a number of different whisper type technologies, and what he means by that is I'm an advertiser and my phone rings and it's Bob's Pizzeria. Hi, you're receiving a call from your affiliate network. Press 1 to accept this call for a fee of whatever. and then that call gets transferred through and you answer, "Hi, Bob's Pizza." Yes, those technologies are out there. You come back to what we talked about earlier about sort of ease of use, equaling use and enabling things to grow. We're very sensitive around not changing the behavior for either the consumer at the end or the advertiser who writes the checks at the end of the day. So that's a little bit of a different experience for the advertiser. That is available, but in most cases, what we're seeing is they don't want to have to train their call center agents to behave any differently. They don't want to train them to have to press a button here. It's weeks of training to change a call center agent pattern. They don't want them to have to press buttons. They don't want them to have to take any codes, pull up any different screens via CGI. You just want to start delivering high quality calls driven by affiliates into the existing advertiser call center experience. So yes, it's available, and there are applications for doing it both ways. Right behind you, yeah.
I think what you're doing is wonderful. I think there's some precedent right there for affiliates. But the concern is, there's a limited number of toll-free numbers. I mean, there's practically nothing in the spare pool for 800. 888 is practically gone. And, 877s and 876s are all that's left. And, if every affiliate with the web went out there and pulled down thousands of numbers from all their keywords, et cetera, pretty soon the country would be in a crisis as far as not having these toll-free numbers. So are you guys a REST board? Do you have any thoughts on that issue?
So we have managed millions and millions of phone numbers in all 50 states as a fully licensed CLEC in our past lives, so I understand exactly the question that you're asking. The short answer is that yes, it takes a lot of numbers. Yes, numbers are becoming a little bit more difficult to get. You can look at the data as to how 866s and 877s perform versus 800s. The difference is negligible, except on TV. The short answer, at least from our perspective, is we know how to get phone numbers, and we know how to manage them very effectively and write those complex algorithms that help you optimize the process of making those numbers available again once they're out of use with a campaign. So come up and talk to me afterward. I can tell you how we do it. I'm out of time here, so I want to offer up one thing for you folks as a thanks for attending today.
I'm Sean Collins. I'm the co-founder of Affiliate Summit, and I've been an affiliate marketer since 1997. I guess there's a lot of explosive growth right now, just offline, different ways, and pay-per-call, I think, seems to be poised to be the next big thing.
So what we'd like to offer you up as a thank you for attending today is a quick show of hands. How many people are thinking about attending Affiliate Summit East later this year? Okay. If you come up, find me, or there's 3 other RingRevenue folks here. Stop by and pick up one of these packs of cards. What this will do is help you understand how pay-per-call works, and what it is, each one of these packs has a unique phone number in each pack. Go hand these out to folks that are here. If you get 10 people that are attending Affiliate Summit right now to simply call this number and hear a recording about pay-per-call, you will get a free silver pass to Affiliate Summit East. Everybody who does that will. And if 3 or more of the folks that you give these cards out to come by and see a 15-minute demo over the next couple of days, which includes a free drink, so it's not hard to sell, then you'll be entered into a drawing to upgrade your free silver pass to gold. So feel free to grab one of us on the way out the door. It'll give you a chance to hear how pay-per-call works. And we appreciate you attending today. Thank you very much.